The UK's Brexit Minister David Frost met France's Europe Minister Clément Beaune in Paris today to restart necessary dialogue over a fishing boats dispute that's erupted last month. Paris accused London and Jersey, a UK Crown dependency, of denying fishing permits to several French boats. It then threatened a series of measures against the UK unless more licences were granted by the 2nd of November. President Macron then suspended the threats ahead of more talks between the two sides. But Paris has insisted a ban on British trawlers landing their catches in French ports remains on the table if a deal cannot be reached. Well, live to Boulogne-sur-Mer on the northern French coast, and we can join our correspondent Maeve McMahon. Maeve, despite the de-escalation of tensions between France and Britain, it seems there's still no meeting of minds. Has there been any progress in these talks?
Good evening, Alistair. Well, no, there hasn't been much progress at these talks today in Paris. In fact, it brings us all back to the talks between Brussels and London on the EU-UK trade agreement, when it used to be the topic of fish that would always hijack those talks and slow things down. And here we are again, post-Brexit, discussing that contentious issue of fish. But this morning, of course, in Paris, between neighbours and supposedly friends, France and the UK. But we understand that after that meeting, Lord Frost and Clément Beaune said the meeting was constructive, but all they agreed to do was to meet again early next week and try and have a positive spirit. But both sides are very much sticking to their stance, not backing down. Both sides believe that the other one is to blame for breaching the EU-UK trade agreement, the TCA, that was signed off on and was implemented back in January 2021. But of course, the British side breathing a sigh of relief that France didn't make good on that plan to implement sanctions and carry out checks on all the trucks and lorries and fishing trawlers coming into France from the United Kingdom. But actually here in Boulogne-sur-Mer and in the port of Calais, I've been speaking to locals who actually support Emmanuel Macron if he does want to go down that road. Earlier I spoke to the director of the port of Calais, Jean-Marc Possesseau, and he had a very clear message for the UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson.
Control that what is told is right. He has to explain why this decision concerning the little boat and the big boats are reality. If not, if it is right, is it written in the Brexit agreement? If it is written in the Brexit, then he is right. When it is not written, he is completely unright, and he should not go on to do that. Everyone will be punished. Everyone, UK, France, fishermen, Calais port, everyone. Calais Dover port also, everyone, for a so silly problem. So
Well, Maeve, how important are British fishing permits to the fishing fleet in Boulogne, where you are?
Well, huge, and in fact hugely symbolic. Boulogne-sur-Mer is a fishing hub. It's also a seafood processing hub, and here fishermen have been fishing easily in the UK. They've had full access to UK territories and of course the Channel Islands for years post-Brexit. Of course, when Brexit came along and the common fisheries policies failed to be the agreement that organised these arrangements, of course things have changed, and we've spoken to fishermen here who've started to have to give up their licences and sell their boats. And according to the port of here, the director of the port of Boulogne-sur-Mer, who we spoke to as well this morning, 14 fishermen here are still waiting for their licence, and the majority of fishermen here have lost access to half of the zones that they used to fish in. So it's pretty dramatic. And as Jean-Marc Possesseau told me this morning, he said the supply chains are destroyed due to this fishing war, and he said it's absolutely ridiculous, and he hopes that ministers will act like adults in the room and find a solution that's good for the people and good for the economy.